Ease is a greater threat than hardship. Speech with key points introduction. We all want comfort. We all want peace. But let me tell you the truth. Comfort can be dangerous. You may think hardship is your biggest challenge, but no, it's ease. Ease is silent. It doesn't attack you. It slowly lulls you to sleep. It takes your ambition, your hunger, your drive, and replaces it with distraction and delay. Hardship may punch you in the mouth, but ease gently steals your future. You wake up one day wondering why you haven't grown. That's because you've been too comfortable for too long. Key point 1T. Struggle builds strength. Struggle creates strength. When life pushes you, you learn to push back. You don't grow on the couch. You grow in the fire. Those dark moments, when everything seems uncertain, those are the moments that shape you. That's where you find your grit. That's where you find your voice. Pressure builds character. Discipline builds destiny. Ease just builds excuses. Don't run from the grind. The grind is your gift. It's in the struggle that you find out who you really are. Struggle is the gym where strength is built. Nobody gets strong from rest alone. You grow from resistance. Every pushback you face, every disappointment, every closed door, it's all training you for the next level. When things get hard, don't look for the exit. Look for the lesson. Hardship doesn't mean you're off track. It often means you're right where growth happens. Most people run from pressure, but pressure is what molds champions. Think about a seed. It has to break through the soil in darkness before it ever sees the sun. In that same way, your struggle is breaking you open so something greater can grow. The pain you feel today is producing the strength you'll need tomorrow. You want confidence. Earn it in the battle. You want discipline. Find it in the fight. Struggle forces you to show up even when nothing around you says you should. That's real strength. Not what you post, but what you practice in private when no one's clapping. Look at someone like Tyler, a high school dropout who worked 2 jobs while studying for his GED at night. Everyone counted him out. But the very hardship others feared gave him discipline. That discipline led him to finish college, build a business, and employ others who once stood where he stood. That's what struggle does. It turns underdogs into leaders. Ease is seductive. It tells you you've arrived when you're only halfway. It tells you to slow down when you need to speed up. The danger of ease is that it doesn't hurt. It comforts you just enough to stop your movement. While struggle pushes you to action, ease tricks you into stillness. And slowly, without realizing it, your vision fades. Your urgency weakens. You forget the hunger that got you started. Most people don't stop chasing their dreams because of failure. They stop because comfort told them to pause, and they never hit play again. Ease is the quiet killer. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It makes you believe that being better than most is good enough, but better than average is still not your best. Ease lowers your standards, and once you accept less, it becomes your normal. Take, for example, Maya, a talented graphic designer. She got a good corporate job, paid well, flexible hours. Life was easy, but years passed, and her dream of starting her own agency stayed on the shelf. Why? Because comfort had given her just enough not to move. Eventually, a layoff forced her out, and that discomfort reignited her ambition. Within 2 years, she built a 6-figure design firm. That proves that hardship woke her up, but ease almost put her to sleep. Key point 20, ease is a silent killer. Ease is deceptive. It convinces you that you've earned the right to slow down, that you can afford to stop pushing. But every time you choose easy over effort, you trade growth for stagnation. People don't fall off because life got hard. They fall off because life got too easy. They stop chasing. They stop dreaming. They stop sweating for something bigger. You don't lose your fire in failure. You lose it in comfort. That's why ease is the real enemy. Comfort is not your friend when you're chasing greatness. It's the enemy in disguise. Comfort says, stay here, you're doing fine, when your potential is screaming for more. The moment you get too comfortable is the moment you stop reaching. Nothing truly great has ever come from staying in the same place. Growth is uncomfortable. It demands that you stretch, change, and rise above where you've been. Comfort, on the other hand, creates false satisfaction. It makes you believe there's no more to learn, no more to improve, no more mountain to climb. But the truth is, if you're not growing, you're dying. Not physically maybe, but your spirit, your passion, your drive, it all begins to fade. Take Jordan, for example. He was a high-performing sales rep, hitting all his targets. But he stopped reading, stopped training, stopped reaching. He thought he'd arrived. But when the market shifted and the competition got sharper, Jordan fell behind. The others had evolved. He hadn't. That's what comfort does. It freezes you while the world keeps moving. If you want to lead, you've got to live outside the comfort zone. You've got to stay uncomfortable enough to keep learning, keep grinding, keep becoming. Don't pray for life to get easier. Pray for yourself to get stronger. Growth isn't about removing pressure. It's about becoming someone who can handle more of it. If everything in your life is light, you're probably not lifting enough. The true test of greatness isn't found in rest. It's found in responsibility. Easy won't build your legacy. What builds it is sacrifice, sweat, and showing up when it's inconvenient. You've got to make peace with pressure. Let it train you. Let it shape your habits. Let it test your focus. Stop complaining that life is hard. You want average. Choose easy. You want excellence? Embrace the hard. Think of Elijah, a young father who worked a factory job, then drove Uber at night while taking online classes to become an engineer. He didn't ask for shortcuts. He built capacity. Years later, he didn't just get a job. He launched his own firm, employing other fathers. That's what happens when you stop fearing the weight and start building the strength. Don't wait for a break. Build the version of you that can break through. The struggle isn't your punishment. It's your preparation. Key point 3A, comfort is the enemy of potential. The enemy of potential is comfort. You weren't put on this earth just to coast through it. You were made to stretch, to climb, to evolve. If everything in your life feels easy right now, that should scare you. Because easy means you're not being challenged. Easy means you're not learning. And if you're not learning, you're not growing. The moment you stop growing, you start dying, slowly, quietly. You may not even realize it until the dream inside you starts to fade. When life gets easy, that's not when you relax, that's when you get alert. The real danger comes when everything seems to be working. That's when people let their guard down. That's when ambition fades. Comfort has a way of numbing your purpose. You stop setting goals. You stop chasing big dreams. You start accepting just enough. But success is not a destination. It's a process. And once you stop working the process, you start falling backward. Always remember, life doesn't stay still. You're either going forward or you're slipping behind. Success doesn't mean you can stop. It means you now have more to lose. Stay sharp. Stay hungry. Just like Serena, a marathon runner who won her first national race and got sponsored. With money and recognition, most would slow down, but she trained even harder. Why? Because she knew comfort would make her soft, and softness doesn't survive the final mile. She stayed alert, and that hunger made her a champion again and again. That's the mindset. Never let ease dull your edge. Key point 40. Don't wish for easy. Build strength. So stop praying for things to get easier. Start praying for the strength to handle more. The more pressure, the more power. The more resistance, the more resilience. You can't build a legacy in a place of ease. You've got to earn it. You've got to fight for it. Every great story begins with a battle, not a vacation. You want to win. Then make peace with the hard road. Fall in love with the climb. Let your pain push you. Let your struggle sharpen you. Stop wishing for life to get easier. That's not the way to grow. That's not the path to greatness. Every time you pray for ease, you're asking for less resistance, and with less resistance comes less strength. Strength isn't built in comfort. It's built under pressure. You grow when you carry the weight, not when you run from it. That's how champions are made. Not through shortcuts, not through smooth roads, but through fire. The goal isn't to escape struggle. The goal is to become the kind of person who thrives in it. When you stop looking for ease and start asking, how can I get stronger? Your whole life changes. That shift in mindset makes you unstoppable. The challenges don't get smaller, but you get bigger. The burdens don't disappear, but your back gets stronger. That's what it takes, not a life of ease, but a will of steel. Look at someone like Adrian. He grew up in a broken home, never had the right connections, never had the right opportunities. While others were looking for the easy way, he worked 2 jobs and still made time to study. He didn't wait for life to hand him a break. He created one. He built strength through the hustle. That same strength led him to start his own auto shop. And today, he hires people who remind him of where he came from. The struggles never stopped, but he stopped needing things to be easy. That made all the difference. So stop wishing for a lighter load. Train for a stronger back. Don't ask for relief, ask for resilience. Because the reward isn't found in the easy way. It's earned through the hard road that most people are afraid to walk. And if you can walk that road, strength will meet you there. Key point 5E, stay alert. When life gets easy, don't be afraid of the hardship. Be afraid of the comfort that makes you forget who you're meant to become. When life gets easy, don't relax, get alert. Stay hungry. Stay focused. Because ease will rob you in silence, but hardship will make you roar. And sometimes that roar is exactly what this world needs to hear. When life gets easy, that's not when you relax. That's when you get alert. The real danger comes when everything seems to be working. That's when people let their guard down. That's when ambition fades. Comfort has a way of numbing your purpose. You stop setting goals. You stop chasing big dreams. You start accepting just enough. But success is not a destination. It's a process. And once you stop working the process, you start falling backward. Always remember, life doesn't stay still. You're either going forward or you're slipping behind. Success doesn't mean you can stop. It means you now have more to lose. Stay sharp. Stay hungry. Just like Serena, a marathon runner who won her first national race and got sponsored. With money and recognition, most would slow down, but she trained even harder. Why? Because she knew comfort would make her soft, and softness doesn't survive the final mile. She stayed alert, and that hunger made her a champion again and again. That's the mindset. Never let ease dull your edge. Closing words, ease is not your friend. It's your warning sign. If you want growth, chase the resistance. If you want success, stop hiding in comfort. Every day you wake up, ask yourself, am I coasting or climbing?